Another day, another win, and another win in particular, that FC Barcelona owes to one of the Joaos. Because I have to say, these guys, quite honestly, are cooking. That's now 3 goal involvements by the Joaos in a Barcelona game for like the 3rd game running. And Barcelona owed their victory as much to the 2 Joaos as they did to Rafa Benitez. Because let's be honest, up until that Aspas substitution, Rafa Benitez was cooking and Xavi was on the menu. And in case you don't get what I'm saying that Xavi and Barca were getting cooked up until that Aspas substitution, which, to be quite honest, I didn't understand, but I did appreciate. And because of it, Barcelona managed to squeeze past Celta Vigo with a 3-2 win. So, hello everyone, welcome to Blog on Everything. And this is the match review for Barcelona's very, very nervy 3-2 win. And I say nervy because really it had me on edge. Like, I thought the Villarreal game was like, had me on 10. This one had me down all the way up to 11 after dialing me all the way down to like -1, because after that second goal went in for Celta, you just couldn't help but feel like this was going to be one of those days. But like I said, the 2 Joaos said, you know what, let's do something. And one thing I did say about them in my last match review, the Antwerp game, is that they are very good at creating chaos, and that is exactly what they did. First of all, with João Félix dropping into that midfield when he gave the assist to Lewandowski, and of course with Cancelo first making that run into the box to square to Lewandowski, and once again when he made that run into the box, get on the end of that cross from Xavi, to get on the end of that cross from Gavi, which nobody really saw coming, and that's exactly what I meant. Anywho, this is a match review, so like usual, I'm going to give you my negatives and positives from the performance, as well as giving a team rating and, manager rating, as well as picking a man of the match. And to be honest, the man of the match pick wasn't so straightforward this time. But first, we'll have to start by talking about the negatives. And the first negative was, of course, I would have to say poor tactical setup from Xavi. Now, I'm not saying that the starting lineup was wrong, but what I'm saying is that once Xavi saw exactly what Celta were trying to do, and I think it was pretty obvious for all of us, they were playing with a 5-3-2, so they wanted to keep that central area as congested as possible. So what you're trying to do if you're Barca is avoid losing the ball in those central areas, or at least avoid letting Celta Vigo outnumber you in those areas. And Xavi's tactics didn't exactly help him out there much, because for most of the match, it looked like he didn't exactly know what to do. Like, should his defenders push up? Like, should he man mark Aspas? Something which should have done but didn't. And even when he did finally give that instruction to the defenders, they didn't look too comfortable executing it. So that, I think, was one of the negatives. And while there's more negatives I could probably point out here, I'm wondering if I actually should, because some of these were just honestly down to Celta Vigo playing very, very good today. Like, make no mistakes, okay? Have no illusions here. Celta Vigo were definitely the better team on the night, okay? Barca only played like the better team for like 20 minutes and they got to win the game. Celta dominated for most of that time. And even guys like Oscar Mingueza were looking like they're that guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a knock to Mingueza. Like, I always thought he had some good potential to him, but him in this system, what Rafa is doing with him, like, you have to take your hats off and you have to admit when somebody is playing well and somebody had a good game against you, and that's exactly what happened there. Anywho, we can get to Barcelona's positives, and honestly, I'll just say I hate saying cliche things like fighting spirit, but what else am I supposed to call it, okay? Fighting spirit. That's the positive here, because to not hide when you're 2-0 down, to not just fade away, to not disappear like we've seen Barca do so many times in the past when they go 2 down against a team that they're supposed to beat and everybody just gets deflated. We saw the exact opposite of that. Now, kudos once again, I should say, to Rafa Benitez for making the one substitution that Barca were begging for, which was for Aspas to come off the pitch. And it's thanks to that substitution that we started to see João Cancelo a lot more, and he was really at the heart of this comeback. You know, him and João Félix, of course, but mostly João Cancelo in this case. Anywho, I have to now give the match ratings. So for the players and for the manager, and I just give a collective rating here, okay? I don't go individuals for the players. It's a collective rating. And so, you know, you're throwing all the guys who played well and all the guys who didn't play well. It's a 6.5, I think, this time around for Barca. Mostly because of what Cancelo, Felix, and Lewandowski were able to do during those final 20 or so minutes. Otherwise, it was going to be an easy 3 out of 10. But, you know, 6.5 out of 10. And I don't think anybody can complain with that. As for Xavi Hernandez, well, he doesn't get as lucky as his team, because as much as I will admit the fact that his substitutions did work, his substitutes did come in and affect the game in ways, you know, just they're not the ones who got to score the goals or create. Oh wait, Gavi did get to create one, but you know what I mean, like it wasn't necessarily as a result of those substitutions, but they did help add in some fresh legs, which made Celta at least make more mistakes than they had been prior to Aspas coming off. Anywho, Xavi Hernandez gets a 5 out of 10 because of that, and also because, quite honestly, Rafa Benitez on this one got the better of him. And I think for the return match at Barbados, Xavi had better hope that Benitez isn't still around as Celta coach, or at least Xavi had better figure out something, because, you know, we can't keep struggling against Celta like this. It's not a good look. Anywho, moving on from that now, we give our man of the match. And like I said, it wasn't a very easy choice here, okay? Because Robert Lewandowski played quite possibly the biggest role here, right? I mean, you scored 2 goals to draw the game level, definitely. You've played a huge role in the team winning. And because of that, I decided to go with 2 men of the matches. 2 of them. Okay, it's Lewandowski and it's João Cancelo. I'm sorry, okay? I couldn't pick one, but you can pick one if you want. But that's who I'm going with. And that's all that I've got for you today. So thank you all for tuning in. We look forward to the next match, of course, but let me know your thoughts on this one, you know, man of the match, any negatives and positives you had, and what did you think of, you know, Barca's performance, of Xavi's performance. Aside from that, thank you for tuning in. Have a great day, and Forza Barca.